What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the red color, playing as Thor, creating all kinds of mischief. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Set, also creating mischief, especially because he is the god of mischief. Ulysses. Ulysses is his name, blue color Set player. We have a Set versus Norse or versus Thor matchup for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited to see what Ulysses is going to come up with in this game. Surely we're going to be able to see some sort of shenanigans here in this game. Set is possibly my favorite god. A lot of people go, wait, what's your favorite god? Normally, I don't have a good answer for it. It's like whatever god I feel like playing in the time is my favorite god. But if I'm completely honest, I feel like Set is my favorite god just because of all of the cheeky shenanigans that you can do with Set. Villager rushes, fast mythics, 2 town center play, classical aggression. You can literally play the game in whichever way you see fit. The problem right now that I'm seeing, though, for Ulysses is he did not find his elk early because he didn't cast his vision. Now, if you are playing Set and you do have double elk only, just 2 elk starts, you need to cast this vision early in an attempt to find your second hunt and decide whether or not you should wander out to that first or not, or you should just send your priest out there to eat said food. And what that would do, it effectively means that you're going to get a nicer classical age timing with your monuments, especially on a low hunt map like our Alfheim. Getting those early 2 monuments up is very important because you're probably going to be wanting to eat some deer from your pharaoh, and you're probably going to be wanting to maybe even eat some giraffe from your pharaoh in the heroic age. Anyways, Rapl on the other hand, what is happening over here? And we see the Ulfsark popping out. Oh, Rapl cancels his Ulfsark there. So, yes. Rapl is Thor. He's doing the long distance wood cutting. He's in the middle of the map right now eating this food. His scouting has been fairly lackluster, mostly due to the fact that he is Thor with only 1 Ulfsark. And, oh, that's a dangerous house there, but he's going to get away with it, it seems. Or he's going to have the Alt S maybe. But the house... Oh, he has an old test. He's going to have idle time. Wait, just old test, dude. Anyways. So this is a product of Thor being Thor and having a target down priest, having a target down hyena, having a target down at all. You just don't get much scouting done, and it can be really, really frustrating as a Thor player in these situations, as we are actually almost seeing the Skrelling walk into the tower fire there. But it can be very frustrating because you don't get all the scouting information that you need. I would argue that maybe Thor has got the worst scouting in the game, behind only Ra. Ra would be the only civilization which is worse than Thor at scouting. And I think Rapl, having found his hunt over here, is going to be happy with that. Should be enough food to advance. He might even move forward and try and... Oh, he better not do that. He's going to have to actually leave, go back home. He doesn't know where his deer are, which they are on the bottom side of the map here. So... he's going to have a lot of walking time in this game. Ulysses, on the other hand, still not advanced. Still 1 monument only thus far. Back onto his gold over here. He's going to be very, very far away from being able to advance here, it seems. Even if he finishes this this deer here, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough food. It looks like it will be just enough food. And he does have the elk over here as well that he can go to. But he should be a little bit worried about grabbing said elk because the Valkyrie will be coming. And we see Anubis. No, we see Tar. Now, we've talked about Anubis versus Odin a little bit and the reasons why Anubis is good in that matchup. But against Thor... I don't think it's that important, and you can see why. You can see Rapl going for Seti, and So no Valkyrie to go and hit any harass early, but the troll sits at home, and the troll can fling rocks at the Anubite, gives you a ranged unit to defend. Really, really nice. Not only that, you make Hersa, which can get Hall of Thanes, and you can do a defensive 2-town center play here against Anubis, and it's a very, very nice way to defend against it. And we'll see if that's what Rapl's going to do, but Ulysses going Tar here, a late advance as well. So kind of metagaming the metagame in a way. So we'll see how it's going to go. He's getting his gold income right now. He's going to move over here and grab himself the settlement and everything else. These villagers here eating their hunt as best as they can. And we do see the animals coming out. The barracks getting dropped here for Ulysses as well. An interesting idea. I don't know what the plan is. Is the plan classical fight? I mean, it's got to be. His plan has got to be classical fight. He's going to get himself a second town center. And he's making some axemen. So barracks into second town center to be just a little bit safer, I guess. But the lone troll actually coming forward and almost picking off a villager there. You don't see that very often. Rapl being a little bit funny with that. But now some units are getting built out by Rapl. He's making those raiding cavalry to cause some issues. The town center on the front coming up for Ulysses. And because he's already got his barracks making some units, he should be able to hold this fairly easily. So this actually makes a lot of sense from Ulysses, but only building a handful of axemen just to make sure that there's no lone Hersa that can come in and deny this seems like a halfway decent idea from Ulysses. On the other hand here, we do have some relics on the map. The Osberg wagon is here. That's our S+ tier relic, the cheaper caravan food cost and faster caravan move speed by 15% actually. I thought it was only 10%, 15%. There's also the Staff of Dionysus, which gives your villagers an extra 20 villager food carry capacity, and the Bow of Artemis here, which is giving us some extra archer damage. Is that right? Or no, cost reduction in your archer. So everything very, very good here. Ulysses casting vision on his opponent's base just to see what's happening. Looks like he wanted to know if the town center was getting grabbed or not. And quite clearly, Rapl is going for that. He had his Ulsark over there. The vision will spot that one. But there's really no way that Ulysses can get in and deny that at this point. Now the vision is down. But Ulysses does see that very, very nicely. So he can make a lot of decisions now. When you see your opponent, when you see your Norse opponent going for a second town center, the decisions come down to a couple of things. So Set can go hard classical fight, go for a gold staff here, which makes a lot of sense. Set can go hard to the mythic age here and try and hit a timing where that's concerned. And Set could possibly do something in the in the heroic age, but I don't particularly like that, especially if you're only on one monument. You're going to be needing to get funeral rites for your priest to kill off the frost giants. You're going to need to be getting a whole bunch of scorpion men, and generally it's just going to be a little bit of a tough time for you. So we'll see what Ulysses is actually going to come up with here. He's going to be continuously building some units, so it does kind of look like a little bit of a classical fight in a way. And especially because Rapl cast his gold mine early, there is going to be a chance that we can get in and get some real damage done. So A, this gold mine here being shifting sanded on. B, this gold mine being shifting sands on at about the 10 or 11 minute mark, but we do see the shifting sands onto the town center. Okay, well, I mean, that's a use, and that does really change things a lot here for Rapl. Like, Rapple's been denied. He's not getting his town center now. So nice usage of the shifting sands, but it does remove any extra damage that Ulysses can really do in this game. So we'll see if it's gonna if this is a good enough use here or not for Ulysses. But denying that town center does give him an economic advantage going on here in this game. So we'll see how it's going to go. Just have this Hersa here has found the Osberg wagon, taking that one home right now. Going to be wandering back home and getting that into the temple and being very happy with that relic. So we'll see if that's going to be much of a muchness here. Now, here's the other thing. Rapl doesn't necessarily need to take this town center at this point. This is just a response to basically a response to a classical fight most of the time. But you can actually go for a semi-fast heroic here. The town center gets lead. He gets an extra 300 gold back, gets the wood back, and throw the armory down. Everything else, he doesn't have an armory just yet, so he's going to be able to get a whole bunch of resources back. And he's going to clean up most of these units here, especially with that troll in the back here helping pick everything off, because the Pharaoh wasn't able to take the troll down. So that's going to send all those units back, and Rapl is just simply going to safely take that town center up. So the shifting sands does simply just delay Rapl's second town center. I do think that the idea here, a really strong idea here, would be don't get the town center, go heroic age, and try and put some pressure on with the stronger heroic age army. Now that you realize that Ulysses is kind of stuck in the classical age for quite some time. And not only that, but Ulysses is going to be low hunt, low food. He's got a lot of villagers on gold right now, waiting on what seemingly waiting on Shadoof. He doesn't have Shadoof just yet, but he's going to be getting it, and then he's going to have to start those farms very, very shortly. And we'll see how that's going to go. But Rapl might actually be able to do some kind of semi-fast heroic off of the 2 town centers anyways, as it does come up here. A couple more ox carts coming out for Rapl as he's trying to split his dwarfs up a little bit. 5 on the home gold mine, 5 on this gold mine. I really like that. Would like to see a wall here as well as here for Rapl, but it's not that important because his army is here to help defend. And Ulysses really, I mean, at this point he's in a very, very tough spot because he just doesn't have the resources right now to do anything. He needs to figure this one out here. He needs to get those farms going very fast. There was probably a way in which, if he didn't lose his Pharaoh, now it's just spawning here, there was probably a way in which he could have spent all 30 of that favor on deer in order to make this farm transition just a little bit easier. But he didn't have the Pharaoh there to make that work. As all the farms are going to be getting dropped now for Ulysses. Rapl, on the other hand, just getting out some more dwarves. Harris' economic upgrades looking. He's got pickaxe, he's got hand axe, he's got shaft mine coming in, dropping down the healing spring here, as well as some houses getting dropped down to make sure Rapl gets up to that full 130 population. We do have a handful of spearmen that are over here as well, as the Ulfsark is going to attempt to make a break for it, and does indeed escape from said spearmen there. Nice play from Rapl as he gets out of there nicely. And we are going to be seeing the raiding cavalry swinging around the back here. Maybe going to try and catch out those spearmen. You have to be careful going raiding cavalry against spearmen though. So, but Rapl is coming over here with the rest of his units. There is actually another play here. Rapl can just go 3 town centers. And he might actually do that. He might click up Skadi and then get his town center. That might make the most sense. But Rapl's economy is gigantic here. Ulysses having to build all those farms really early has hurt him quite a lot. You can see barely any farms up for Rapl at this point, and he's going to be able to click up, and he's going to be completely fine here. The armory goes down. The town center is going to go down very shortly as well, I would assume. And then, dare I say it, Rapl can kind of just go full onto gold. He can build some farms from these villages if he wants. Skadi now coming through, but Rapl can get a very nice mythic timing here. Ulysses, on the other hand, hard stuck, classical age. It might even be worth it for Ulysses to grab his 3rd town center in this position. Like normally I say, like, just go straight to the mythic age, but this is one of those positions where having to farm means that the mythic age timings are so off that it's really hard to get any good damage done if you do farm. So it's better to play that for that defensive game plan and try and take the game somewhat later than trying to finish it with a timing attack. As these walls getting taken down. Rapl here now starting to get his farms up. He's got himself plow incoming. He has not got himself plow. It is incoming. So he's going to get that, and he will have the resources to immediately get irrigation as well. So the timing's there very, very nice. As the throwing axe, I'm going to be pulling back just a little bit here. And straight army out in the middle of the map. I'm not exactly sure what Rapl's plan is here. He might be thinking about throwing down a hill fort right in the middle of the map, which I don't hate, but it's going to be a little bit risky. As we see this army over here as well for Ulysses trying to defend this location. We might actually have to see a frost on this position here. And that's indeed what Rapl does do, which does give Ulysses, the ancestor's opportunity here. And Ulysses is now going to be 80 villagers, it seems. And he's going to have a lot of villagers on food. Lots of food income here. Not only that, he's going to be getting that relic here that allows his villagers to carry even more. So they're going to be a little bit more efficient, I think. And Nephthys is going to be coming in right now. So not going to be in time to cast it here. But, I mean, maybe Rapl just doesn't care. And he's going to pick off so many units here. He's even going with the building blockage here with those longhouses. I love that play. Trying to take these units down as best as he can here. As this spearman has been a little bit annoying. A couple of dwarves getting pulled off here. Going to be shanking away at said spearman. It's going to be tough to recognize that that's happening there as the army attempting to retreat away from this location here. But the army of Rapl chasing them down nicely. And is Rapl now able to go to the Mythic? Rapl is going to be going Mythic Age here. I want to see tier. Go tier here most of the time. Okay, Balder. Balder is also a god. But if you go Balder, remember you have to make those markets. Actually, you know what? In hindsight, Balder against Set is broken. The reason why Balder against Set is broken is not actually to click Balder. Not to click Ragnarok. You don't click Ragnarok. You just build Fire Giant. You just build Fire Giant. And what can Set really do against Fire Giant? The answer is nothing. Set has to respect Ragnarok in that he has to go full into Axeman. Otherwise, he's just going to get run over. If he doesn't have a whole handful of Axeman, you just click Ragnarok and win. And then beyond that, how do you deal with all the Fire Giant and the raiding cavalry that are going to come in? This is actually a really, really nice play from Rapl. We'll see if he does click Ragnarok, though. Funeral Rites, Priests of Agana says in the chat, but those are going to get picked off really, really fast by a handful of raiding cavalry, which are going to be the counter to the Axeman being built to counter the Ragnarok. It's all too hard. It is all too hard. So normally the answer that Egyptian has for Fire Giant are mummies, but obviously that doesn't work because you don't have access to Osiris. So Balder is OP. Balder is OP. We'll see what Rappl's going to do. He hasn't started any trades, so I really don't want to... Well, there's the trade now starting. Fantastic. He should think about a market in this top corner or something like that just to be a little bit more economic, but he doesn't have to click Rag here. He's in a commanding position. I don't see what Ulysses can really do here. Ulysses is going to try and put some pressure on. There's going to be a Rag that he could use to counter the Ancestors, I guess. But the Fire Giant's already out. Is Rapl building more Fire Giant? Not yet. He's got all the favor in the world to do so, though. He's just going to be hanging back, getting those armory upgrades out. And Ulysses here, what's he doing? He's not getting upgrades. He's not building anything. He's got his third town center up. Maybe going to be thinking about going Mythic Age here, but what's that going to be doing? An Avenger. You could use your Avenger to try and take the Fire Giant down, but there will be Frost Giants there as well, I assume. And not only that, there's going to be the Heroes of Ragnarok that are going to pop out. You're going to have these kind of silly-looking Avengers. But Balder has come through. Rapple's at 287 of 160 population, and he is going to be going berserk on this set army, and it's going to get absolutely cleaned up. Might actually lose the hill fort, though, if he's not careful. Not taking down that siege tower fast enough here, it seems. Oh, 15 HP remaining. Very close. Ulysses gets a little bit of a win there.
Skip.
There's the Ancestors getting cast. I don't know about that one. Maybe cast it on your opponent's farms or something and try and take those down. I don't know. These Heroes of Ragnarok can just turn around and take these down very, very quickly here. Throw an Axeman in the back, getting targeted at the moment, but a little bit of micro from Rapl, and it's going to be very difficult here. We've even got buildings getting thrown down all across the map here for Rapl, keeping a good eye on all the gold mines. This gold mine over here, this gold mine over here are the only ones that that Ulysses really has access to. Ulysses still not advancing to the next stage. He's got himself heavy axemen here. 1 fire giant, 2 frost giant. The army of Ulysses getting absolutely melted. 100 population remaining. There's not enough production to spend all his resources here at this point. Villagers getting sniped on this gold mine as well. The town center will be falling very, very shortly here, I'm sure. Rapl's got a handful of... Oh, his ox caravan's going to the wrong town center, but, you know, that is what it is. Fortified town center. Going to be getting taken down. He's got a lot of wood in the bank he can sell for gold if he really needs to. And then 0 gold for Ulysses. What can Ulysses do? He's still got to deal with this army. Even if he gets like 160 pop yet again of full axemen, is that even enough to deal with this army? The answer is probably no. He is making some chariot archers though in the back as the town center does get torn down here. Rapl still not making any of those, not really selling any of those resources just yet. Some walls coming up on this position to make sure that no gold mines can get snuck here. Villagers getting pulled back as Rapl pushes in onto these units. The chariot archer doing its darndest in the back to micro away, but Rapl is just going to press forward here. He does not care. He's just like, I don't care. You're going to die. I am strong builder. Look at these armory upgrades looking like full bronze here against, I would imagine. Oh no, full bronze from Ulysses as well. I'm surprised that he's managed to afford that, but I guess he is 3 town centers and didn't go mythic age, so it does make some sense where that's concerned. As the Migdol stronghold is about to fall. There's even some units up on the top taking down houses, causing more issues for Ulysses. Ulysses trying to micro back into his base, but he's just about out of production. He's got 1 barracks left, 0 gold in the bank, lots of wood in the bank. He does have a market to sell that wood for gold if he needs to, and at this point it's kind of worth it to be doing so. But villagers just getting picked off left, right, and center here as he's got only 3 idle villagers, and there are no villagers gathering anymore for Ulysses. Rapl has completely decimated the set economy in this game with his Ragnarok. We do see some villagers making their way over onto this position, going to try and take down the town center or something, but that's not going to be enough here as the Pharaoh is going to get taken down as well. The town center goes down over here, and Ulysses will be greeted by a handful of heroes of Ragnarok that are going to be coming in here as well. More villagers getting taken down. This fortified town center with bronze weapons. It does a ton of damage here. Towers getting taken out, and Ulysses is without hope, it would seem, as he is simply just looking for some way back into this game. But 16 population is a little bit grim. You hate to see it. 16, 12 population, 13 population. He can't build a villager anymore, and Ulysses taps out. Very rarely do you see a pro player or a top player staying that long in a game, but it's hilarious nonetheless here as Rapl manages to dispatch of yet another Egyptian with his Norse. Maybe the matchup isn't as easy as everyone seems to think for the Egyptian players. Just maybe. Oh my god. What a game here from Rapl. Very nice defense. A nice try from Ulysses to get the golds, to get the town center denial here, but he didn't actually put enough units onto it to really continue here. And with Rapl being able to just come back and get it, delayed town center aside, the economy of Norse is so gigantic. And I think a lot of it did come down to the cows that were found in this game. But if we take a look at this this early game economy here, you can see at no point really here was Ulysses in front on the resources. And this is a product of Norse economy and a product of Egyptian economy being worse than the Norse economy. However, buildings are cheaper, units are cheaper. So this is where things kind of equal out. So it's not as big of a deal as you might think, but the problems are right now, as I see it for the Egyptian players, it's very similar to what the problems used to be for the Norse players. If at the very least of recent times that I've noticed, and that problem is that the Egyptian players' macro is not crisp anymore. There was a point where it felt like the Egyptian players' macro was super crisp. You look at someone like Chemo, someone like Magic. When they played, their economy looked very crisp comparatively to everyone else. Now, you take a look and you're like, well, the macro control of a Norse player is just simply better than that of a set player currently. So the set players need to level up, may be taking more advantage out of the unique gold bonuses that set has, such as eating their animals of set from their pharaoh, clean archaic build orders, farm transitions, things like that need to be on point for you to win with Egyptian. Now, it's not that Egyptian is weak by any stretch of the imagination. It is just that Egyptian players have almost forgotten how to play Egyptian, and maybe that was because of the crutch that they once had, which was Mercenary being OP. But who knows? It was a good game nonetheless. Well played, Rapl. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.